Hello and welcome to your first piano lesson. I'll be your guide. I'm Daniel. Let's get started. Welcome to the big piano. This is your piano. You probably already knew that. A lot of different notes. Let's hear them all. There's a whopping 88 notes in here. You've got lots of whites and lots of blacks. So I can see that it might look a little bit intimidating. But today, we only need to learn 12. And they sound like this. That's your number 13, same as this one. So guys, it's really cool. There's actually only a little pattern in between these two notes right here, or wherever you start with, there's gonna be a pattern, right? These kind of sound the same. And the entire piano is really just this little block, repeated a bunch of different times. Most piano lessons begin not with the first letter of your typical alphabet, which would be A, but in the key of C. This note right here, you can find it if you can locate two black notes. See these two black notes? You'll see kind of a pattern. 3 black notes, 3 black notes, 3 black notes, but we're gonna look for the 2 pattern. See these? So find 2 black notes, and C is just before it, right? That's how we find our very first note. But Daniel, why are we starting on C if you just said we're gonna use the alphabet? In the key of C, that is the only scale in all of music that uses all the white notes on the piano. And that's why your first piano lesson begins with C. And the notes in the key of C sound like this. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, back to 1. All the white notes. And then it just repeats. Let's see how many C's you can find. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 8 different octaves. That's kind of cool. The black notes are called sharps and flats. If you take this C and you go up your piano, you can call this note C sharp. The way I like to remember this is if you sit on something sharp, you're probably gonna go, whoa, that was sharp, and you're gonna fly upwards, right? So C sharp, like a needle. If you come down the piano, this is still a C sharp, but there's actually a second name for these black notes. My middle name is Jordan, Daniel Jordan. Black notes have 2 names as well. So this is C sharp, but you can also call this note D flat. Like if you get a flat tire in your car, what direction does your car go? It goes down, it gets sad. So you can call these black notes C sharp or D flat, depending on what's before it and what's after it. This note is called D. C, D, E, right? D, if I go up to the black note, we call this D sharp. If we go down from this note, which is the letter after D, so that'd be E, it comes E flat. All right? So that's kind of the intro to black notes. We'll cover that a little bit more in just a little bit. Let's go back to those white notes for a little bit. Once again, we have our very first note. We call this C, C, D, E, F, G. Kind of nice. Those are the first 5 notes of your piano. You can even just use your first 5 fingers and go like this. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. All right? But because there's 8 notes, see this? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. We only have 5 fingers. So the way to play all 8 notes with one hand is you do 3 in front and 5 on the back side. You're like, what? How do you do that? 1, 2, 3. Check this out. We're gonna cross underneath with our thumb to that 4th note. That's C, D, E, F. See how I did that? Now I have 5 fingers left on the back side. G. And we haven't talked about these 3, A, B, C. It's interesting, your typical alphabet starts with A, but in music, we decided that the key of C uses all the white notes, and that's why your first note in your lesson is C, not A. So, C, D, E, F, G, A, B, C. That's called your C major scale. You can probably think of the do, re, mi, fa, sol, la, ti, do. I also like to call these notes the first note, so I say 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 1. There's a fun trick to memorize these letters if you haven't taken a pen yet and written them on your keyboard. Some of my students do that. A fun trick you can do is find your 2 black notes, and we call this the doghouse. Guess who lives in the doghouse? D for dog. So clever, I know. This is called your people house. Guess how you get inside the people house? Well, you gotta take the front door, right, to get in the people house, and check it out. Here's the back door. B, F, quick way to memorize those 2 notes. Who lives inside the people house? You got G for grandma, hey grandma, and then you got A for auntie. What's up, auntie? You know? So you got front door, back door, G, and A. G for grandma, A for auntie. D for dog. And there's a couple extra animals that just they ended up in the backyard somehow. The cat doesn't usually like the dog, so he is outside the doghouse. So C is kind of outside the doghouse right there. D is in the doghouse. And this is kind of fun. I like to tell my students this note is E for the elephant that escaped from their local zoo. Yes. So C, D, E, F, G, A, B, C. You can use your alphabet or those little animals and characters we use to help memorize those notes. So once again, with 88 keys on the piano, you can break it down to 12 notes right here, or you can just work on your first 7 because the 8th note is your C again, C and C. For our second lesson, we're going to talk about how to build some pretty cool sounding songs using these 8 notes. So the black notes, you can practice them. You can practice say them out loud. C sharp, D sharp, right? F sharp. You can go back down the piano. You can call that G flat or E flat, right? D flat. You can practice those. But we're going to actually focus on these white notes for our second lesson today. So I hope that makes sense. We've got C, D, E, F, G, A, B, C. If you use your 3 fingers in front, cross under with your thumb for that 4th note, you got 5 now on the backside, and that's 4, 5, 6, 7, 1, or 8. That's called your C major scale. So once again, we got 5 black notes in our little block here, 7 white notes, because the 8th note is the same as the first. We've named them cat, dog, elephant that escaped from the zoo. Front door, grandma, auntie, back door, back to cat. If you want to call them names, you can, or just use letters. Those are the names of our notes. And for our next lesson, we're going to start learning chords.